Hey everybody, I am back with I guess you could say the second installment of the day. I wanted to just show you, we just talked about the one tree. I wanted to show you my other tree here. And it's in the corner of my entranceway, my door. This is, it's a white tree. I call it my angel tree. And what you see on it is a bunch of picture frames and gold balls. It's white. On the top here, this year especially, I used my mother-in-law's. She had an angel that she used to use. Unfortunately, this angel doesn't really work anymore. It kind of works when it wants to. I plugged it in and it worked. Then I put it on the tree and then it decided it wasn't going to work. I don't put lights on this tree. Over here, you see a bunch of picture frames. Let me see if I can carry you over here. Just to show you. Just to show you. Oh, yeah, I can. And the angel tree is to represent people, anybody, animals, pets who are no longer in my life and no longer in our lives. And as the years go on, there's a few other people that have been added to the tree. You know, people say, oh, that's kind of morbid. I don't think it's morbid at all. I think it's in a remembrance of that person in your heart. And my mother, God rest her soul, my mother had started this tradition. My father passed away in 1994, and my mother and myself, we took care of him. And my mother we had this like little tree. Now, who remembers the store Woolworths? If you come from New York City or anything, there's Woolworths. It was a very big popular store in the 60s and 70s. Actually in the 50s too, if you want to think about it. But we had this little 12-inch tabletop tree. So my mother and me, we decided, she says, you know what, that's Daddy's tree. So we just started like, you know, it already came with its own decorations. So we kind of like threw some decorations. I put a picture of me and my father near the tree. And it kind of escalated from there. And it was a little tree. So as the years went on, I says, how about we, you know, it's like not make the tree grow, but to, you know, people who are no longer here. This is kind of like a dedication to them. So we did that. And I had always says to her, I said, you know, I would really like, how about we make it a white tree and put white lights on it? And just, she says, nah, you know what, just keep it the way it is. Well, he passed away in 1994. My mom passed away in 1998. I want to say unexpectedly, yeah. But there was also 2 months before my wedding. I was engaged for a long time, and we were planning the wedding, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, one night we were doing the guest list with her while she was in the hospital. We were sitting there doing the guest list. Didn't know that was going to happen, but you know what? As an adult child, you do what you need to do, and, you know, God was calling them. So, but the wedding went off great. She was in spirit, and obviously she's now added to the tree with my dad. So, again, the dollar store. The frames were from the dollar store. This is my mom and my dad. I know the video's backwards, but this is my mom and my dad. I've also incorporated pictures of me with my grandfather. And you see a lot of animals on this tree. This is my mom's cat, Fluffy. This is my cat, Winnie. It was my baby. No other cat like him, not even my mom's cat. Funny story about my mom's cat, getting off of this kind of, not really getting off the subject, but there are many other animals on the tree. This animal was given to us. That was Freckles, and Freckles was I want to say a rescue dog. She was abused. She was about 6 months old when we got her. My mom worked with her so much, and it was just her and my mom, and she was our animal for 14 years, and she did wonderful. She was everybody's baby. Very gentle, very kind soul. Wouldn't hurt a fly. So you see a lot of animals. I've come from a house with many animals. For me now, not to have an animal is like strange. I haven't had a pet in over 24 years. So, but this is my angel tree. And the tree is dedicated to everybody who is no longer in our lives. And I guess you could say, because my mother-in-law, the angel on top is from, I want to say that's from her. By the way, that's my Franciscan cross. It's a wrought iron cross. I love this cross. Finally managed to get it up on the wall. But my mother-in-law was also a very big Snoopy fan. So this is her Danbury mint clock. And these plates are glass, and they're changed depending on the seasons. And she was a very big Snoopy fan. We always argued because I was her enemy with Disney. But getting back to the tree. My mother-in-law is a very big Peanuts fan, so she had a lot of ornaments. A lot of ornaments. All Peanuts ornaments. But I wanted to show you one thing here on this tree. And this was my father's tree. So I actually have a picture of my dad's tree. And everything that's, I want to see if I can get the glare out. Obviously I can't do it. This is my dad's tree. And that was some of the decorations, and I had a picture of him, and so, and you see that Jesus on the bottom, Jesus and Mary. That statue I still have. Matter of fact, it's here somewhere. I still have that statue. That statue has been around since before I was born. So I'm 53 years old, and that was my mom and dad's, way before I was born. So, but I managed to dedicate it by having a picture of the tree. So, also representing trees past, I'm going to put the phone back over here. Representing trees past, I wanted to show you something. This is also a funny story. This is my bedroom when I was a teenager. And the thing is, you see there's a poster. I used to love Rick Springfield. Still do, but I had posters all on my walls. What teenager didn't? So, anyway, this was my bedroom. My mother and my father decided not to have, this was a real tree. They decided they didn't want a tree for Christmas one year. What? Just no, there was something that happened or something in our lives. She said, I really don't feel like celebrating. I says, all right, well, I'm going to get a tree. She went, yeah, okay, you get a tree. My now husband, who was boyfriend back then, just happened to have worked during Christmas time for a florist. You know, delivering trees and just a little delivery boy, extra job. I wound up going to his florist because we knew the owner, very nice owner. God bless him too. He's no longer with us. But I picked out a tree. He says, okay, Maureen, no problem. You know, Joe will deliver it to you. So I had my boyfriend deliver my own tree. He says, where are you putting this? I said, it's going to the bedroom. What? I says, it's going in my bedroom. My mother and father don't want a tree. I want a tree. This was the tree. And I had my tree. So this tree is my dedication to trees of the past. This was my tree. And years ago, you know, you used to use the tinsel. I mean, it was this was back in the 80s. This was like one of the last times I actually ever used tinsel. But it was a real tree. So when you throw the tree out, you're throwing the tinsel out with it. But some of my decorations are still, and I think I see, yeah, I see the, she's here somewhere. I see the, she's over here somewhere. My Raggedy Ann doll that's not over here. She was actually on this tree. So I do have a dedication to my tree from my bedroom. And I have my Beanie Babies, which is my angels. I have everything that happens to do with heaven or an angel or God. I have it on this tree. So these are of people past. This is my mom's Yorkie. This was Buddy. This is my mommy's last dog. And we had him for a year. And then when my mom had passed away, I couldn't take him with me. This is one of our last dogs. and I had to find a home. God bless my mother-in-law, because her friend had just lost his dog, and he was looking for another dog, and he wound up with Buddy, and Buddy lived another 10 years until Buddy passed away. So I kept in touch with them. Buddy was hospitalized once or twice. Me and my mother-in-law ran down to the hospital to go see him. You know, it was one of those things. And my cat Winnie, like I said, I had him since I was 13 years old, and he developed a thyroid disease. I find it so weird that our animals sometimes mimic us. I also have a thyroid disease. I was diagnosed many years later, but he had I had to give him pills every day, knowing that 20 some odd years later, I'm taking pills every day. So this was my other cat. This was Ivory. I want to see if I could show you. This is Ivory. Whoops, come on, Ivy. And Ivory was given to us by another neighbor. He was found in a field upstate New York, and the neighbor brought him back home here to New York, and decided she couldn't have him because she had another animal. So my mom says, I'll take him. He had what was called ear mites, and they crawl into their ears, and they live there. And basically what stays in there, and I know it sounds disgusting, but is their feces. And we can't decide whether he was deaf because of that, or he was just born deaf. But he was deaf. Whoops, somebody's bothering me. But he was deaf, and there was nothing that we could do about it. But he was the kindest. Another one, wouldn't hurt a fly. I know he wouldn't hurt a mouse, because all he wanted to do was play with one when he discovered one. We couldn't have a mouse playing in the house with him, so. But, and this was it. I want to let you know, and also about the story about Fluffy. This was my mom's cat, Fluffy, like I said. And Fluffy lived with us for 13 years. My father had originally adopted Fluffy for me for Christmas back in 1975. Fluffy came in a box. My father had adopted her from the Bidewee home. Well, Christmas comes, you know, Christmas Eve, we opened up our presents. Some people open them Christmas Eve, some open Christmas Day. My mom and dad, we used to open them 12 midnight Christmas Eve. Here comes this box. And they kept the cat from me. I don't know how they did it. Here comes the box. I'm sitting in front of the tree. I'll never forget this. I'm sitting in front of this tree. I open the box. This black and white head pops out with 2 ears. Looks around. I said, "Oh, it's a cat." My father said, "Yeah, we got your cat." He says, "I adopted him during my lunch hour on work." I thought that was cool. He says, "I stopped by the Bidewee home." He says, "I had no idea really I was going to adopt a cat." He says, "But I saw her in the cage." He says, I had to take her. They had a love for animals, my parents. She pops her head out. She's looking around. I'm trying to, like, come on, come on. My mother said, she'll come out when she's ready. She says, let her get the feel of the place. She pops out of the box, jumps out of the box. What does she do? I will never forget this. She goes over to my mother. She became my mother's cat for the following 13 years. That was my mother's cat. That was never my cat. She was never mine. Never, never, never. She had an attitude. We had a love-hate relationship even when I was a kid. Even in this picture you see, I was actually able to hold her for maybe 10 seconds while we were taking that photo, because then she'd start in. It's like, it was the weirdest thing, you know? I mean, we, like I said, love-hate relationship. One day she'd come over and let me pet her. I pet her. She goes to swat me. What the hell do you want? I'm trying to pet you. And then she developed diabetes. And my mom, again, same scenario. A few years after that, my mother developed diabetes. After she passed away. It's just weird how, like I said, our animals mimic. We mimic our animals, I think, sometimes. But I just wanted to show you my tree. And unfortunately, this tree will be added more things from time to time. As the years go on, I'll probably wind up getting a bigger white tree. It only goes up during Christmas. Doesn't stay up all year. I can't do that. But it's here. So I just put a certain amount of pictures now. And I think people that are no longer with us should be, you know, if they're close to your heart all year round, we know that, but they should have a dedication, something like this. And I kind of took my mother's idea and I grew with it. So I just wanted to show you my tree before I take it down, because I think today I'm going to start taking it down. But it was a nice addition. I put it in the corner. Like I said, all three of these trees. There was another tree. I have a Disney tree. It's a fiber optic tree. And I don't have that up this year. Maybe next year I'll put it on the counter here for my kitchen. But I had all three of them in the bedroom. So right now I'm in the midst of starting to make things disappear. Let me put my kitchen light back on. I don't have enough light. Okay. I thank you so much for letting me speak to you and just keeping a conversation and showing you some of my life. All right. I want to wish you all a happy day. Have a good weekend. It's like really terrible outside. I went out yesterday. It was beautiful, sunshine and everything. But today is like, the sun will probably come out when I'm about 6 o'clock when I'm going to bed. Anyways, oh, you like my pajamas? I got these new pajamas, Primark. I want to say before Christmas. They were $15. So, there I am. Okay. God bless. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Hit the subscribe button. I know everybody says that. I don't force you. If you want to do it, fine. I greatly appreciate it. It's cool because I enjoy showing you my things and coming into your world from my world. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. A good weekend. Bye-bye.